يخرج منهما اللؤلؤ والمرجان وله الجوار المنشآت في البحر كالأعلام.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري. Allah SWT gives a reference of Lulu, pearls, and Marjaan, corals, in Ayat number 22 of Surah Rahman. At the time the Ayat was revealed, the known world thought both of these hidden treasures resided in the oceans. But Allah SWT revealed that they could also be found in rivers, and now geology has confirmed the same after so many centuries. The study of pearls and corals and their formation gives an important insight to us. Pearls are essentially excretion of oysters, and the corpses of various species in the water become coral. How interesting that man puts value to those material objects that came into existence from the dead. Something that was ugly that became beautiful, and how easily we judge a book only by its cover when we do not even contemplate on its origin. So, in essence, we ascribe value to those things which are inherently of no value, just because they look beautiful, instead of giving value to things which matter the most and have value beyond measure and are beneficial for us, i.e. guidance from Allah SWT. Beautiful objects symbolize power, accentuating our craving for lusts and desires, which are subjective from person to person. Guidance is an open invitation for all and takes us out of slavery of the material objects of the dunya into freedom, which is slavery of Allah in ubudiyah, something which most of us Muslims heedlessly recite in our daily ritual prayer, Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. Ayat number 24 of Surah Rahman turns our attention to the large vessels that travel through the high seas. We are made to realize that absolutely nothing is in our control. If there is not enough sea wind, the ship with sails would not be operational. Storms, ocean currents, winds, large whales crashing into ships, and ships themselves malfunctioning are but a few scenarios which are not in our control when we set sail on the seas. Take the case of the Titanic and the marketing that went behind it being unsinkable. The use of the word munsha'at here denotes Allah SWT inspiring us to create the ships. Imagine Hazrat Noah alayhi salam having no prior knowledge in engineering, nor having any expertise in the field, and without anyone's help. He was inspired by Allah SWT to build a ship that remained afloat for many months on the seas. And the most advanced ship of its time, the Titanic, sank. Allah mentions in Surah Yasin, Ayat number 43, and if we intend, we drown them. So being on the high seas is literally being at Allah's mercy. The batini or hidden meaning of ayat number 22 of Surah Rahman with reference to pearls and corals is beautifully cited in the Tafsir Ruhul Mahani on page 164, volume 27, where the two seas are compared to Hazrat Ali Raziyallahu Anhum and Bibi Fatima Raziyallahu Anhum. And the pearls and corals are Imam Hassan Raziyallahu Anhum and Imam Hussain Raziyallahu Anhum. Whereas the batni meaning of ayat number 24 of Surah Rahman is that the vessels are the Abrahamic faiths of Judaism, Christianity, and Islam, which are floating. The Prophet ﷺ said that his Ummah is like the vessel of Noah ﷺ, floating in the oceans of Tawheed. The destiny of these vessels is the same, but their journeys are quite different. Their laws and trials are different, and hence they all have different challenges and experiences on the sea. This Ramzan, let us contemplate on how Allah SWT in Surah Rahman starts with something small, beautiful, and relatable at a personal level, and then makes it big so that the idea gets appreciated at a mass level, giving us a better understanding of world economics. For example, he starts by telling us to appreciate the fruits that come gift-wrapped from him, and when consumed, they bring a smile to our face. The concept of food then takes a global approach when he mentions grain and husk, which are the staple food for man and farming animals of all countries. He mentions beauty in the form of small gems found deep in the oceans, and then compares them to large floating sea vessels that remain afloat by his decree only. The word A'lam in Ayat number 24 of Surah Rahman means large vessels like mountains that can be spotted from a distance. How interesting that such light and small objects like pearls and coral remain on the seabed, and mighty, heavy, and large objects like sea ships stay afloat above the water. The inspiration behind the word munsha'at in ayat number 24 also inspired man to create new lands as he discovered them by traveling far distances by sea and chancing upon new uncharted territories. This creativity came from aql, the intellect, which is one of Allah's biggest blessing for man and is part of bayan as discussed earlier. To make ships that don't sink with the materials also created by Allah SWT, be it wood or metal, and to establish trade routes for the welfare of mankind. فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Thank you for watching. Your support is greatly appreciated. If you found this reflection on Surah Rahman meaningful, please like and share with those who may benefit, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. May Allah's rahmah and barakah be with you and your loved ones this Ramzan and always. Ameen. Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, Ya Zal Jalali wal Ikram.